I'm Lauren Caldwell, and for years my family treated my career at Summit Capital like a cute hobby. Every Friday night in our Austin neighborhood the same scene played out. Rosemary chicken in the oven, Texas red wine on the table, and Derek Vance holding court at the head like he'd invented the word disrupt. My sister Brooke would laugh at his jokes. Mom would squeeze his arm with that proud mom-in-law smile, and Nana Evelyn would crochet in her corner chair, eyes sharp but mouth quiet. I sat at the far end near the serving cart, salad bowl in front of me, nodding along while Derek described his latest visionary pivot at NexusForge AI. You should see the deck I built last week, he'd say, refilling his glass. Real optimization. Chess with data. When I gently mentioned we were reviewing AI logistics platforms at Summit, he tilted his head and grinned. Lauren's in tech now? That's adorable. Managing the company Instagram or something. The table chuckled. I smiled politely and took another sip of water. It still stung, but I'd learned to let it. Then one crisp November morning the file landed on my desk. NexusForge AI Solutions. Tier 2 acquisition target. I read every page like it belonged to a stranger. Burn rate unsustainable. Product strong but leadership thin. I immediately walked into my boss Monica's office. Family connection, I said, sliding the disclosure form across her desk. I'm recusing from any vote or negotiation. But if the board wants my technical notes on the IP and market fit, I'll provide them anonymously. Legal and compliance signed off the same day. That was the rule at Summit. Transparency first. No shortcuts. I spent the next weeks buried in data rooms cross-checking patents, customer contracts, everything. My analysis showed the company had real bones. It just needed steady hands, not showmanship. I recommended acquisition at $57 million with founder transition support. The board approved. I stayed completely out of the final meetings. Christmas Eve at Mom's house smelled like ham and sugar cookies, same as always. Derek was mid-monologue about how he'd closed the deal of the decade with Summit when Mom's phone lit up on the table. She read the TechWatch alert out loud. Summit Capital acquires NexusForge AI for $57 million. Sources confirm senior strategist Lauren Caldwell's technical evaluation was pivotal in identifying hidden value and structuring founder continuity. The room went silent. Forks hovered. Derek's face drained of color. Brooke whispered, "Wait, Lauren." I set my wine down gently. I disclosed the conflict the day the file hit my desk. I recused from voting. But yes, I wrote the report that showed why the company was worth saving. Not to hurt anyone. To do my job honestly. Derek stared at his plate for a long moment. Then he looked up, voice small. I thought I was carrying the whole thing. I never saw you. I'm sorry, Lauren. Truly. Nana Evelyn set her fork down and smiled softly. Sometimes the ones who speak loudest aren't the ones who build the strongest. Mom reached across the table and squeezed my hand for the first time in years. Brooke wiped her eyes. Jake, my husband, just grinned like he'd known this moment was coming. Later that night, after the hugs and quiet apologies, Derek pulled me aside on the back porch. I was an idiot. If you'll let me, I'd like to learn how you actually do this. No ego this time. I nodded. We'll figure out the transition together. Fairly. That's how we do things at Summit. As the Austin lights twinkled below us, I felt something settle in my chest. Not triumph, but peace. Family isn't a stage where only one person gets the spotlight. It's a table where everyone finally gets a seat once we choose to really see each other. And sometimes the quietest voice is the one that keeps the whole thing standing.